Whole CEO with Lisa G. I'm the best-selling author of The Boss Weight Loss. I'm bringing you the top tips to be unstoppable. This is a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity to actually pull up a chair with today's top experts in weight loss, mindset, and business. Learn our top tips to set you up for success so that you can have more energy, be fit and resilient, and feel unstoppable. She's a triple award-winning and best-selling author of End Dieting Hell, How to Find Peace in Your Body and Release the Weight. She is the creator of Body You Love, 90-Day Journey, and Be Fit with Love online workout program. If you've struggled with weight most of your life, it's not a mistake that you found this podcast and masterclass and summit. Michelle Melendez, welcome, welcome, welcome.
Oh, so much mahalo and aloha to you, Lisa, for having me. Thank you for having me. I'm really, really glad to be here, especially because of this topic and getting this information to your audience. So thank you.
Oh, the timing could not be better. And I want to just jump right into the content. So let's talk about the big thing that we're all going through, how to release fear in any situation. Let's just jump right into it and talk about fear.
So one thing that you need to understand is your body the feelings in your body are vibrational frequencies and actually chemicals. And every single cell, the 50 to 100 trillion cells of your body, vibrate at the frequency of your feelings. So the number one way to release fear in any circumstance, and I love that we're jumping right in because this is a very fearful time for people, especially if they're watching the news, which I really highly recommend that they stop watching the news, that they actually get out in nature as much as they can. But one of the things that you have to understand about your feelings is that every cell in your body vibrates at that frequency. So what will happen is that frequency will send a signal to your mind to start to think more thoughts that create that add to that frequency. So if you're afraid, what's going to happen is your body, which is actually the cells of your body are actually conscious. That's a whole different topic.
Absolutely.
But so what happens is the very first thing you have to do is you have to acknowledge that you're feeling that without going into the stories that your mind starts to create about it and make it worse. So what you want to do with fear is you want to breathe into it and let it be in your body. So I work with women who struggle with their weight most of their life, and that's why I wrote the book. And the number one thing that they have is that the feeling that they're not good enough, the feeling of frustration, and that frequency builds on itself. And the only way that you can really start to release that fear is to stop going into your mind about it and to actually use your breath, because your breath is life. And we can survive like a month without food, 5 to 6 days without water, if that, and minutes without air. So you want to feel the feeling in your body and literally put your hands on your heart. When you actually touch your heart, you actually drop into your heart. And then you want to inhale and feel the feeling expand in your body, like you're trying to expand it. And a lot of people get afraid that when I teach this work, this is called integration work. When I teach this work in the programs that I run, a lot of times my ladies get really scared. They're like, Michelle, I don't want to feel that in my body. And I tell them, you're already feeling it in your body. So expand it more to see what shows up, to see what happens. And if you take that fear and don't let go into the story about it, but you breathe into the fear and you go, it's okay that you're here, and you literally talk to it and let it know that you understand why it's there. I understand why you're here, and you're breathing into it. I mean, big, deep breaths, no shallow breathing. We want your breath to go down into your belly, go down into actually your root chakra, because your very first energy center, which is your pelvic floor area, that is safety. That's the energy of safety. And I don't know why my light's going off, but that's the energy of safety and groundedness. So if you're feeling fear, that root chakra is out of balance. So what you want to do is you want to breathe into that root chakra, breathe into that first energy center where your pelvic floor is. Let it expand, let that area expand with your breath. And I guarantee if you do that at least three really deep, big breaths, it'll start to shift. It's going to start to change. The feeling will actually start to lighten up. It's not going to feel so intense. And then what you want to do is you want to talk to it. You want to say, hey, feeling of fear, I get it. I mean, we are in an uncertain time right now. Life has been turned upside down. We don't know what's going to happen. So I understand why you're here, and it's okay for you to be here. You actually let it be okay that it's there, because it is there regardless of if you're saying it's okay or not, it's there. So that is the very first thing that you want to do with fear, for sure, Lisa.
You want to feel the feeling first, acknowledge it, so you can heal it. You have to feel it first, and then you don't want to attract what you are, so you don't want to be walking around in fear. So once you felt it, what do you do after that to process it and move into more abundant mindset?
So the first thing is breathe into it, let it expand, then talk to it and tell it you understand why it's there, because it's there for a definite reason. And then, and this is some things that I love sharing. So you watching this podcast, the probability of you being you, the probability of you being you with your personality, with your passions and your dislikes and everything that makes you you, is 1 in 400 trillion chances that you would be born. You're literally a miracle. And the Buddhists talk about it like this: the probability that you would be born you is as if you were to throw a life preserver in the middle of the ocean, somewhere in the ocean. And somewhere in the ocean, there's one turtle. And on its very first try, that turtle sticks its head out of the ocean, and its head is right in that life preserver. That's the probability of you being you.
That's
the next,
isn't it?
Isn't that incredible? It's like, when I found it, I was like, oh my God, like, Lisa, you're supposed to be here at this time in history. And it's not a mistake that you're into fitness, and it's not a mistake you wrote your amazing book, and it's not a mistake you're doing these podcasts, because something in your heart inspired you to do that. That's all. That's literally a miracle that you're here, and none of that is a mistake. So the next step to release that fear, after you've breathed it into it and you let it be here in your body, tell it that you understand why it's here, then think to yourself, it's not a mistake I'm here. It's not a mistake I'm here.
That's so powerful. I mean, thank you for sharing that. And when you put it that way, it's not a mistake that we're here. And I'm here to show people how to be unstoppable no matter what. I was inspired by that way before coronavirus, just based on my entrepreneurial journey, which has been not like that, but more like this. And I just want to inspire all of you guys, when you're going through hell, keep going. And Michelle, I love what you stand for, about that you feel your feeling, and then you acknowledge how special you really are, and that we're not here by accident. We're here for a reason. And I want to talk also about another topic that I love, which is self-sabotage. Can you speak to why we all self-sabotage and maybe a better way to look at it?
Oh my God, I love that you brought this up, because this is the work that's really dear to my heart. This is why I was born, is to work with women who struggle with their weight, especially women who struggle most of their life, who always are feeling they're not good enough, or frustrated, or that guilty or shamed. And so what happens is they go on a diet and they self-sabotage. They're excited. They're like, I'm going to do this diet and it's going to work out, and they're hopeful. And then within 4 to 6 weeks or less, they will sabotage themselves.
Right.
And the reason is because like I said earlier, the cells of your body feel the feelings that are your thoughts, which are chemicals and vibrations. That's all a feeling is a chemical and a vibrational frequency. Well, what happens is the cells of your body become conditioned to those feelings. So it actually feels normal for someone who struggles with their weight most of their life to feel frustrated that they can't lose weight, to feel not good enough, to feel ashamed. They know how to run their life with those feelings of guilt, shame, embarrassment, frustration, feeling not good enough. They know who they are, feeling those feelings in their body. But actually that feeling of, oh, my body feels good, oh, I'm liking myself, that is very foreign. So what happens is they sabotage to the body. In fact, what happens is the mind goes, you shouldn't be eating that. Don't go off your diet. But what happens is the body, the cells of the body are so conditioned to that frequency of shame and frustration, not good enough, that they will actually send a signal to the brain to think a thought that releases the chemicals they're used to. It's like an addiction. It's like a drug addiction that the cells are going, I want that regular thing I'm used to feeling. So that's why you will be pulled to sabotage your diet or to sabotage whatever it is, your relationship, whatever it is that you struggle with.
I've done it all.
Yeah, yes.
Gosh, there is.
Because the body, and it actually comes from, the root of it comes from your heart, and it comes from past trauma. So that's where it starts from. But the body will literally send a signal to the brain that says, go and have a donut, go and get off this diet, even though the mind is going, no, don't do that. And you're having an argument. So to not self-sabotage is you literally have to line up your heart and your brain, your heart and your mind. And that's the journey that I take women on. It's called End Dieting Hell. And it's a 90-day journey to line up their heart and their mind so that they actually are pulled toward living in a body that they love, and they can actually see their pattern so much easier. But thank you for asking that. I love that question.
Oh, you're welcome. And is there anything else you want to add for our audience about how to be safe in uncertain times and how we can end dieting hell, and just any final thoughts you want to leave us with?
Yes, absolutely. First is that it's not a mistake that you're here at this time in history. None of us. We are meant to be here. This whole thing is meant to be happening right now because, as Eckhart Tolle says, this is the next evolutionary step in humanity is awakened consciousness. And that's what this is about, awakened consciousness. And you are literally, if you're watching this, you are a miracle. It is a miracle that you are even born, and you're supposed to be here at this time in history. And my best advice is let yourself feel your feelings. Don't hide them. Don't pretend they're not there. Don't try to fix yourself, because there's nothing to fix. There's actually integration of all of your feelings that will lead you toward peace and more self-love than you ever thought possible for yourself. And that is evolution. That is awakened consciousness that Eckhart Tolle is talking about. So what you want to do, let yourself feel your feelings, know that you're meant to be here at this time in history, and then follow your intuition. Because the last thing I want to share, Lisa, is that for thousands of years, we have been in masculine energy, thoughts, thinking, planning, to-do lists, logic. That's all masculine. What's happening in the world right now is that we're moving toward the feminine. We're moving toward feminine energy. And feminine is your feelings. Feminine is, what does my intuition tell me to do next? Trusting yourself, honoring the feelings you have, no matter what they are, because each one of them is it's a vibrational frequency. There's nothing wrong or bad with your feelings. So following that intuition is the last step of that. And I just know that for those of you who are watching, it's not a mistake that you found Lisa. It's not a mistake you're on this podcast. You are meant to find it. Follow your intuition for the next thing you're meant to do next, and you will be guided to more peace in your life and helping humanity bring more peace back into the world.
Michelle Melendez, I love that so much. I feel like the way things were in this world were broken, and we had to come apart before we can come together in a more productive way. And I'm not in any way, shape, or form grateful for illness and demise of our economy and affects all of us. But I feel like we can do better as a society. So thank you for pointing that out. And where can people find you?
Womenbeingfit.com. Women Being Fit is my website. And there is a free class. So you have the link to that free class. It's womenbeingfit.com/end dieting hell class. And that's a free class that if you've been struggling with your weight most of your life, you want to watch that class. It's 36 minutes. It will blow your mind. help you understand your journey with weight and self-esteem.
I love it. I'm going to watch it for sure. Thanks so much, Michelle.
All right, aloha, Lisa.
Thanks for joining WholeCEO with Lisa G. This episode is brought to you by my friends at Bossell. Looks like a beautiful dress watch, acts like a smartwatch, so you can go from your workout to a dinner, screen your calls, track your activity, even your sleep. Share this with your friends for a chance to win a Bossell watch.